Welcome to the Loaded Cannon, and oh my God, what a performance, what a result. And before I get into all of that, let's start the video in the way that we always do, and that is to dedicate it to someone who's suffered, who's died in the name of the Palestinian cause. And in the video today, I'm going to talk about what a momentous occasion it was today when Arsenal beaten Real Madrid and got through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. So we're going to go back in history. We're going to talk about that day that Thierry Henry did what he did at the Bernabeu. And in my dedication, I'm going to go back historically as well to 2003 to dedicate this video to a woman called Rachel Corrie, who was not Palestinian. She was an American activist, and she was crushed by an Israeli bulldozer. Crushed by a bulldozer. Can you even imagine? In 2003. I thought it was only right to dedicate it to her, just as a reminder of how long this has been going on for, and also a reminder that it doesn't matter who you are. You can be a white American woman, but you can still play your part in your solidarity with Palestine. So this is dedicated to Rachel Corrie. If you don't know about her, if you've never heard her name, Google her. Unbelievable story, heartbreaking, but she lives on. Her memory lives on. Now, where do I even start with this game? Oh my God, what a performance. Should we just talk about some of the people, first of all, some of the unbelievably outstanding performers? I'll save the best till last. You all know who that's going to be because we got him half price. There's your clue. But Mikel Merino, let me just start with Mikel Merino. When he joined the club and, started playing a few games, I think Arsenal fans in general were very unimpressed. It wasn't that he was bad, but he did nothing of note. He was just sort of a player on the pitch, never really contributing in a memorable way. But oh my God, his form recently, since he's been put further forward, has been unbelievable. I'm not saying for a second next season I want to see him playing in our striker role, but the way he's adapted his game and the impact he's had, 2 assists today, and brilliant assists, the weight of the pass, perfection for Saka. Anytime there's an assist and a player doesn't have to take a touch, you know the weight of that pass has been absolutely perfect. Saka, timing of the run, the way he's bent his run, etc., to stay on with Real Madrid's right back, keeping him onside, was absolutely fantastic. And we have to talk about Saka as well, because he didn't let the penalty miss, which, oh my God, that drove me crazy. I was so frustrated at that penalty miss. But I never for once doubted Saka. I certainly questioned his decision, but never questioned his ability to come back and influence the game. He's just built of different stuff, Bukayo Saka. Something about Hale End, I'm telling you, I don't know what they put in the water there. When you look at Saka, when you look at Nwaneri, when you look at Lewis Skelly, these guys, do they know what nerves are? The way they have come into the first team, unbelievable. But back to Merino. He is really, really playing brilliantly and contributing so well. It'll be interesting to see now against PSG who we play in the place of Thomas Partey, who got that frustrating yellow card. Merino, he can even do that job. So it'll be interesting to see whether he drops back into midfield or what we do up top. I actually want to see him continue there. He was brilliant today. Mars Lewis Skelly, unbelievable performance. How is this kid 18? I've said it so many times before, but now this is a different level. Away in the Bernabeu at the age of 18, you've never played at this level before, and he was just unbelievable. He was so calm. His calmness on the ball. It wasn't that he just sort of got rid of the ball as quickly as he could when he got it and did a really good off the ball defensive job. He was brilliant on the ball. He took so much pressure off the team. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm in awe of this kid. Such a good player. And you look at him and you think to yourself, you get the impression from him that this isn't a flash in the pan sort of, form-based thing. He just looks like the real deal very, very quickly. I really hope he can maintain this, because that's it depends where he plays for Arsenal, but he's going to be a fixture in this Arsenal team for the next 10, 15 years if he stays at our club. I would love him to be a one-club man and just continue to be brilliant for Arsenal. Such a good performance. Another player who was absolutely unbelievable today, Urian Timber. What a player he is. He's a sort of player, I've never seen him frazzled. Even like he had his head on the game at all points, even when Rudiger trying to provoke him, threw him to the floor, just gets up, carries on, just does his job. He's a robot. He is an emotionless machine, and I love it. When you're in the cauldron of this type of event, of a game, like it's such a massive event, you just need that cool head. Don't let anything faze you. And that was him. He was on job. He's always on job. And when I'm in the stadium watching him live, I just think to myself, oh man, I would hate to play against a player like him, because he just is a terror of a defender. He just must be so horrible to play against. And he did brilliantly today. Another one, Jakob Kivior. I mean, listen, if there's a weak point in the team, we all would have said it'd be him. What weak point? Over 2 legs against Real Madrid. Absolutely brilliant. And then the last one, listen, this guy blew the lid off. Declan Rice cooked yet again in a different way. The first game, obviously scored those 2 free kicks and was brilliant. But this performance for me overall was actually better. Away from home, and the way he just bossed it. Declan Rice's recovery runs, his backtracking runs are unbelievable. Name me a player in world football that does that better than him. It's the hardest thing to do. You see players so often when they're going forward, it's like the pitch is downhill. It's easy for them to get forward on the end of something for those moments of glory. But Declan Rice, for so many players, is uphill when you're running back. It's just harder. Psychologically, mentally, it's harder. For him, zero difference. Gets forward, gets back. And his interceptions today, his tracking of runs. Jude Bellingham is going to be having nightmares about Declan Rice. What I loved seeing as well was the little bit of needle between them two. And Declan Rice, I guess mutual respect, being England teammates. But more than anything, understanding what his role is. You saw the way he reacted to Thomas Partey when Partey got involved, and you know, the sort of provocation did get to him, and he picked up a yellow card, which is so annoying because now it weakens us for that very, very difficult PSG game. Declan Rice was incensed by him, and you could see when it came to Declan Rice himself, he's just a model pro, such a likable guy, and well deserved his Man of the Match award. He is world class, and you know, now I feel like if he wasn't already on the map in terms of world football, that performance, my God. You know, let's talk about one thing. We've just beaten Real Madrid 5-1 on aggregate. That is crazy in itself. But we've given a goal away from one of our most reliable players in William Saliba. What was going on in that moment? But I don't care. Let him have that error. Let him have that mistake, because he barely puts a foot wrong over the course of an entire season. So fine, you've done it then. We've got away with it. If that's his one mistake, that's fine. But crazy mistake to make. And thankfully, we got away with it. And then Bukayo Saka, what he was trying to do with a Panenka penalty that wasn't in the middle of the goal is crazy to me. The whole point of a Panenka is that you play it at such a slow pace because the goalkeeper dives out of the way and therefore cannot react to it because he's not there to react. You never, ever should be hitting a Panenka left or right of the goal. Because if the keeper guesses the wrong way, it maximizes the chances of him getting it. And that's exactly what happened. I don't know what Bukayo Saka was thinking there. But we can either focus on that, or we can focus on the fact that what he does afterwards, what it does to his game. Because, look, you know, you must be fearing the worst. You must be thinking in that moment, oh God, if this goes wrong, then that's unforgivable if it goes wrong. But he just keeps his head on the game. What I loved about this performance, not a single player was bothered. Not a single player did it get to them with the penalty miss or the Saliba mistake. And that's hard. Usually momentum from these things really swings, and you think that the sort of like outpouring of emotion, how the crowd will get up for it, the players, when Saka misses that penalty, would swing the momentum. The Saliba mistake, you'd think it'd swing the momentum. But Arsenal, even as it ticked over to 90 minutes, watch the game back, I think we had 5 players in a high press. At 90 minutes gone, at times I counted how many players were forward for Arsenal. It was 7 players forward. This was unbelievable. This wasn't us saying, okay, defend for your lives. This was us saying, do you know what? We're going to dominate this game. We're going to control this game. Unbelievable performance from Arsenal. I could not be more proud. And the happiness it gives me to see that semi-final draw and Arsenal there, that is where we belong. And now PSG, who do you think are favourites? Let me know PSG versus Arsenal. Who do you think are favourites for that game? Is going to be tough. We beat them in the group stage, but PSG, like everyone is saying, are a different team. It's going to be so difficult. But these are the games we want to play. This is what we were also saying before Real Madrid, that it's going to be a difficult game. And look how easy we made it look. Villa gave PSG a tough game. Liverpool, even though I know it was an unbelievable performance from Alisson, they gave them a game away in Paris. So I think there's enough signs to say that Arsenal can give PSG one hell of a game. And for me, it's a real toss-up. But Arsenal was so defensively sound. For me, only Inter a better team defensively than Arsenal in this competition, perhaps. So we've got to see what happens there in the final. But, whether it's Barca or Inter, who the hell knows? But, now it's Arsenal and Inter, the two most defensively sound teams in this competition, and PSG and Barca. Who's going to win out? Who is going to win out? It's the two styles that are clashing in both games. Barca, Inter, Arsenal, PSG. We'll see attack versus more solid defensive teams. Who will come through and what will happen in the final? I can't wait. This is where we've wanted to be. And congratulations to every single one. And I know there's players in there that you're probably going to say, how could you not mention them as well? Too many to mention. All of them did brilliantly. And Mikel Arteta, the bravery, the confidence, the belief he has infused into this team is absolutely unbelievable. Look, I loved the game last week. Being there was an absolute pleasure. I will never, ever forget that game. Just the perfect evening. I wish I could have replicated that and been in Madrid. But hey, listen, the people that are out there, you're very, very lucky. What a performance. What a win. What a team. Come on, Arsenal. Please do the business. Get us back to another final in Munich, 19 years on from our one and only final appearance. I am salivating at that prospect. I'll see you next time, buzzing after tonight. Come on, Arsenal.